Now, we're on to the number one spot. These all three episodes that we're talking about here will be covered in videos later demonstrating each Devil Breaker. But right here, we're at the top tier Devil Breakers, which are the most powerful in my opinion. And they, if you haven't guessed them already, you should guess them right now just because they're so dang good. Okay, so let's get the list started off with number 5. Rawhide. Rawhide is so good. Its regular whip move has an AoE attack, allowing enemies not to attack you, only ranged attacks, which you don't really come across in this game a lot. You can also counter Furies with this thing like crazy. This thing is... It does justice, and in a crowd of enemies you'll build your combo rank up. Its breakage move does a lot of damage, and it's very powerful. And if you combo it correctly, you will do an extended combo that just shreds the enemy up. Rawhide is overall one of the best Devil Breakers in my opinion, just because it can do that AoE damage. It does everything perfectly, well, unless you're using it on a single target, which is why this is at the bottom of the list. Using it against a single target is a no-go for me, because it doesn't do enough damage. If I want to build my combo up just a little bit, this is what I'd use, or just I would use it. But there's other ones that are just better at building up combo, which leads us to the number 4 spot, Overture. Overture is powerful. It's your first Devil Breaker you'll get, that and Gerbera, but you're introduced to Overture. This thing can chip off very high health enemies to even one-shot some lower tier enemies. It will murk. Its breakage move can melt bosses. It is overall one of the best Devil Breakers in the game for chip damage, for big damage, or just for overall use. It's a very short-ranged Devil Breaker. But it just does everything well. Well, it's not short range like Helter Skelter. It has a little bit more range, but also has an AoE effect. It can go up, it can go down, it can go straight. That's the best thing about this. Helter Skelter doesn't have that, and for this reason, I don't have to keep tapping the button over and over again to maximize damage. I just simply slam my electric palm into an enemy, if they're above me, below me, or in front of me. It'll work. And that's what I love about this Devil Breaker, is it's so versatile and overall just great to use. It's consistent. It's not easy to lose it either. It's a quick attack, or a decently quick attack. Let's move on to our number 3 spot, which is gonna be Punchline. Punchline's great. Punchline is convenient. Its breakage move can chip health off of a boss like crazy, blast them into the sky, allowing you to juggle them easily. I suggest using this on bosses like Virgil. It will melt Virgil's health. I've done many Dante Must Die runs, and Punchline is basically my crutch. It counters Furies pretty nice as you throw it out, and it will completely block them from attacking you, and it does everything well. The only thing bad about it is it's easy to lose. You gotta kind of stay aerial with this thing or safe. Rocking it against a Fury and it goes into another crowd of enemies, you're pretty much screwed. You're gonna lose it unless you know how to parry a Fury. Not a lot of average players can do that. So yeah, Punchline's great. Overall, you can also ride it and do certain combos and do a lot of damage, but other than that, I mean, Punchline's just great. It's one of the best Devil Breakers in the game. You can make work with it against bosses, crowds of enemies. You can ride it and do a bunch of crowd control. It has everything. The only bad side is that you can lose it easily. Coming at number 2 spot, we have Ragtime. It really isn't a surprise that Ragtime is up there. Its regular move can slow enemies down for a few seconds, allowing you to get some quick uninterrupted damage in there, but its breakage move is where it shines, allowing you to melt bosses. You've seen boss bully videos and speedruns. They use Ragtime because it slows the enemy down to nothing. They can't do a single thing. If they're left open, Neuro has a bunch of damage. You see a lot of people run mini rack times. That's for a good reason too. It is a great double breaker. It's not, it's in there to easy to lose, but not really. You just have to be smart with it. And it's more of a utility double breaker instead of a damage like some of the others we've reviewed here. But this thing works like a charm. Coming out at number 1 spot is not even... That's not even a surprise. The Gerbera GP01. This thing is godly. It has 2 breakage moves, one on the air, one on the ground. One of the air is actually best in my opinion, as you shoot a bunch of lasers coming out. But if you lock onto a higher priority target, you can launch those lasers into him doing some quick burst damage. It will fill your combo up like crazy, and it will bounce around rooms. Using it in a tight space would ultimately just be godly, but using it by itself in an open space will burst enemies' damage down. Also, let's put into the fact that it gives you aerial dodges. That's something you would always want in a hack and slash game. But the thing that Gerbera GP01 does better than the Gerbera itself is the fact that it has, instead of a basic pushback, its combos go up and down, allowing you to stand still. You can launch an enemy up into the air and you go with them, or if you want to launch them back down, you can do that as well. You will go with them. That's why I like this better than the regular Gerbera. It's very, very good. And overall, it's more versatile. Yeah, you can't push enemies back, but what's the point of pushing an enemy back when you can just dodge with them and still crowd control? But you will be carried with them and you can slash them. Like, it's just better. And it looks cooler too, but we're not going to go into that. If we went by looks, I'd probably have Buster Arm at number 1. Let's be honest. This is one of the best. This is the best double breaker in the game, in my opinion. It just gives Neuro that mobility, but it also doesn't come short of damage because it can do that as well, especially with its aerial breaker move and its grounded breaker move. By the way, the grounded breaker move shoots a giant beam, but you're very vulnerable to it, so I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest only aerial. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, possibly subscribe. It would make my day. Peace out.